What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Payne. Welcome back to another Final Fantasy VII Evercrisis video. Alright guys, we're going to be doing something today that I haven't done yet, and that is go over each of the summon fights on hard mode. Now, hard mode is going to be something that you're probably going to be doing endgame, and a lot of people are asking the same question. Are the summons even worth it? Now, if you don't know, the way it works is, I made a video in the past on how summons are essentially have their own stream, how they function, and what the purpose are for summons. And the question keeps coming up, is it worth it? So, and it's a very good question. The reason why it's a good question is because they take over your limit break spot, right? So your limit breaks are going to be one of your more powerful tools in terms of damage. And a lot of people are saying, well, we don't know if the summons at the current moment are going to actually be worth replacing them. So I'm going to try to make a strong case for summons. And the reason why is because of the stream here that you can do with summon streams. So you can see here with Ifrit, for example, you get to do one summon stream at a time. So you get to choose whether you want to do Ramoy, if you want to do Shiva, or if you want to do Ifrit. So I started with Ifrit right away because he's the easiest one to do, right? And I'm trying to hopefully max him out so I can show you guys the full potential of a summon. Now you see here there's 96 different modes to go with. It's the same as the other one where you have to use Ifrit's face here, his little icons, in order to unlock these streams. Now why I think it's going to be really good in comparison to a limit break, number one is the charge speed. You can increase that, so lowering the 2000 to a normal amount, so probably the same as a regular limit break, 1800 I'd imagine. And then the potency part of it, right, which is I believe the ability to do more damage, right? So that's why I'm gonna focus on getting this completely maxed out, guys, and then I'm gonna show you guys a showcase on a summon versus a limit break damage. I think it'll be worth it because you guys can then figure out which way you want to go. Now, of course, Ifrit is a fire summon, so he's going to be more useful during fire weakened enemies. So that's where you're most likely going to use him. Now, we're going to try him out with Shiva to see if he's worth it there versus a limit break. Let's say we'll replace... Who do we replace here? We'll probably replace Clouds just to see how he does, okay? But first, let's go into the actual battle for Ifrit and see how we do it on hard mode. So I'm going to tell you guys how to prepare, how to handle Ifrit, and why it's worth going in and trying to actually beat these fights, specifically for the weapons that are dropped, because you can get yourself a 5-star weapon to a 4-star weapon through a 3-star weapon that's actually going to be good against Shiva. So this is very hard mode. I'm not there yet, but this one here, the common draws for hard 2 or hard 1, it's your choice which character you want to go for. So it's the same level, same fight. The only difference is it's Glenn's axe, right here, versus Zack's sword. So completely up to you which character you want to use. So for me, I'm going to go with Zack's sword. I'm going to probably want to do this fight here, and we're going to try to prepare for it now. So I'm going to show you guys how to set this up and how you want to get ready for it, okay? Okay, so the first thing to note, guys, obviously is going through the Trial Ifrit hard mode. You guys can see here the way it functions. These are going to be the enemies. You're going to 100% need a Blizzard spell on each hero. Make sure you do that. And also you will need the following sigils. You need the X for Ifrit, and everybody else doesn't really matter. This triangle one here, you'll just do damage based off of your full stance bar, so don't worry about that. And then in terms of rewards, this is what you're going to have an opportunity to get no matter where you land on the actual rankings. It's just, I don't even think it increases the chance, to be honest. I haven't noticed that difference. I've just seen that it actually does help get maybe more gil. I don't even know if that's even the case, to be honest with you, because everything, I've gotten A's, B's, and C's. I haven't got an S yet, but at least I'll show you guys how to set up. Okay, so we're going to use Red 13, we're going to use Cloud, and we're going to use Aerith here. So for Red, you want to make sure, of course, that you have Blizzard on everyone. So that was the first thing I mentioned to you guys. So here we go. Blizzara's on him. You guys can see that. Now make sure the sigil with the X is on there as well. You guys can see I have the circle one just for the extra stats. And then of course I have the X there. So red is good. We're going to be using Seaside Caller. Just so you guys are all aware, the Thunder Resist decrease does not work. Okay, it does not work on anybody who doesn't have the Thunder weakness. I'm going to talk about this on a different video because I think it's important. A lot of people don't understand that part. But any resist that you reduce can only be done on enemies that are weakened to that resist already. So if it's not weak to Thunder, this won't even affect them. I'm using it mostly for stat purposes, okay? I also got to level up his other weapon too. Now moving over to Cloud, same scenario here. You want to make sure you have a Blizzard spell. So I have Rune Blow. I have Blizzard Blow here, which is what's going to be used for him. The blows work as well, by the way, as long as it's a Blizzard-based cast. It doesn't matter if it's physical or if it's physical or if it's magic. Okay, so that doesn't matter at all. And make sure you have obviously the proper sigils in place. Now for me, this one here is obviously not the right one, but I use Braver, which actually does have that. So Cloud's okay where he's at, no worries on that part there. And then of course with Aerith, you want to make sure that her casting one, so we have Blizzard there, and Ruin there, and then Ruin there. Okay, so everyone is set up to go. Now I did mention though, I will use, actually no, I will use Ifrit on Shiva, but not on this fight. Okay, so we'll do that later. And you guys can see here sub weapons are all set up. Okay, so there you guys have it. Now let's go ahead and jump into the fight, and you guys can see how this works. I'll do 54 here, and then we'll do the Shiva battle in a different video so you guys can prepare for that one. So Ifrit has specific skills that you have to watch out for, mostly Ignition and Hellfire. Now Ignition is going to pretty much boost his fire damage before he does charge. It's very important to use Blizzard spells in order to lower that ignition as much as you possibly can. Okay, so I'm gonna put this a little bit slower so you guys can kind of see how this works. We'll set it on auto for now. These guys are no problem, so I don't have to really do much here. Cloud should be able to kill them all fairly quick. Now you're gonna have bombs. Okay, these bombs, now the biggest problem with bombs is if you lack DPS, just like every Final Fantasy game, if you lower their HP enough, they will then start to do something called burst. In some games it's called explode, some games it's called detonate, but essentially it's the same effect, right? This one here is going to start it now. You guys can see here the burst is starting to cast. If that goes off, you guys take massive AoE damage, just so you guys are aware of that. Okay, just real quick also, just so you guys are aware, on Semi, if you do set it up, thank you for those that mentioned this, I completely forgot to talk about this. Everybody shares the same stance. Whenever you as the main controller switch the stance, everyone else does it as well, whether it's manual, semi, or not. Now, I remember mentioning that the caster didn't cast anything on manual. Well, it was my mistake. Apparently some people corrected me, so thank you for that. That if you switch your stance, the healer will then go ahead and auto cast a heal for you. So I wasn't aware of that. I never noticed it because I thought it would just automatic. You have to do it yourself, but you actually don't. Okay, so here we go. Harness magic. You guys can see here. Let's pause. Ignition starts, right? You guys can see enemy info. There he is right there. No debuffs of battle information. Sorry, abilities. These are what we have set up right now for all the characters. Remember, you can look at that anytime. So ignition here is the more ignition he has, the more damage he will do with his fire damage. So the way to lower ignition is to continuously do blizzard or any type of ice damage on him. Like, see Cloud's doing that, it lowered it, but every time he hits you, it goes back up. So you need to cast it as much as you possibly can. There it is, being lowered again, before he pulls off his actual charge. Now, charge does a lot of damage, so you want to make sure you're also healed up before that cast goes off, so you guys can take the grunt of the damage and still survive. It's having magic down is kind of nice. He's gathering strength now, and now he's going to start doing his charge, okay? So this is an ideal time to have a healer pop off a heal. Okay, and then also be able to go back and do a limit break after this. We want to get red 13s up if you can. Okay, his limit didn't pop up. Having that limit go through is really nice because you can obviously lower the physical and magic damage done by the enemy. Right, we'll do this. So yeah, just you guys saw the ignition was getting lower and lower. Don't let it reach the top. If you go in there without a blizzard spell, you're screwed. You're gonna get one shot by charge. Okay, so make sure you're going in there and you're bringing that ignition to at least lower than half. Now you see after he does his charge, ignition is now gone. It's no longer a problem for a little while, okay? Instead now, he's gonna focus on doing something else. He's gonna do Incinerate here, okay? So this cast is called, and then after he's done this whole thing, he does Hellfire, okay? So this is where you really need to focus on getting rid of his actual sigils, all right? Now he will still cast Incinerate, I believe, a quarter or halfway through. So either way, you're gonna take the damage no matter what happens. There we go. I've never been quick enough to actually stop the first cast to go through. Okay, you'll see. It's gonna go half. I believe it's half. There it is, right there. So Hellfire, first off, always happens at least once. Okay. After that, you just have to eliminate the first, this next batch here that's coming up. Okay. So the way that to do that is make sure your bar here is full, and every time you do damage to the enemy with a cast of any sort, it automatically lowers one of these bars, okay? So just go in there and just do what you gotta do to lower this as fast as you can. Don't waste, like he'll probably cast Hellfire one more time. I believe he does it 3 times. There you go, one more time and we got him. All right, There we go. Interrupted. Now go full on DPS here. Blizzard blow as much as you can. Get that damage up. It's also a good time, guys, if you plan to do this fight, to build up a Blizzard blow spell with better substats and level it up. It's definitely worth it, okay? So there you guys go. Ifrit fight completed. Consume 50 stamina every day. That's great. I got that out of the way. You guys can see here we got S, right? You guys can see where the scores are at. Battle clear was S. One hit max damage. We'll get higher than that next time. We just don't have the proper weapon. Well, I mean, the weapon's fine. I guess we just need to have a better Blizzard blow leveled up. I only have a level 1 right now. Total damage taken, S, and then battle time could have been obviously a little faster. Weakness exploded, 37. We got a score there, and then Sigil destroyed 40, so we got a score there. Okay, so there you guys go. We got an S. Now let's see what we get here. There you go, a couple 4 stars, a couple 3 stars. Okay, so these will all eventually add up to a 5-star weapon for Zac that you can use for this fight if you want to. Now again, you have the option to use Glenn as well. This is what we're really aiming for, are these, because I want to push Ifrit further. So continuing this fight is going to make a difference, because then you can push his summon stream further up and then use the potential for the summon itself and make it better, right? So there you guys go. Ifrit hard mode completed. That's how you set up for the fight. That's how you do it. We'll do Shiva next, guys. I'll see you guys in the next video.